The Attorney General, who's a very nice man, I actually got to know him as a young lawyer when he was U.S. Attorney in Mobile, Alabama. I had a matter in front of him and saw him in later years while I was running Judicial Watch. So this is not personal, but he's very reflexive. You know, he's been called a racist unfairly. Everybody in this country that challenges the left, that challenges Black Lives Matter, that challenges Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, and the rest of these vigilantes is called a racist. So he's very reflexive. Now, yes, there should be a Justice Department investigation of what happened at Charlottesville and the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists, that, you know, one of which killed this young lady very tragically. But there should also be investigation of what the left did there. This group called Antifa, which is a radical leftist fascist group, which also engaged in violence. And President Trump's exactly right about that. It was on many sides. And also you had the Black Lives Matter crowd there. And as you know, JD, I have lawsuits in Dallas, Texas, over the massacre that occurred there over a year ago, where 5 cops were killed, 7 critically wounded. I represent a Mexican-American father whose son was killed, a policeman. I also represent a very valiant African-American, Demetric Penny, a Dallas police officer who was assaulted during that raid. And they have the courage to stand up to this tyranny of the left, but apparently our Attorney General does not. And he's been cowering. And I wanted to add one other thing. I've asked him to review a couple cases. Now, we've learned that perhaps the president's going to pardon Sheriff Joe Arpaio from your great state of Arizona. But he abdicated his responsibility in conducting a review of that, and Sheriff Arpaio was unfairly convicted by a Clinton-appointed judge. And I've asked him to review simply, neutrally, the prosecution of Klayman Bundy in Nevada, where there's been all kinds of prosecutorial misconduct by his prosecutors there, a holdover from the Obama administration. Even the Las Vegas Review-Journal says this is out of control between the prosecutors and the judge. They're violating the constitutional rights of the 19 defendants that are being tried there. And recently, I'm to meet with Sessions, and of course he doesn't, quote, have time, but he recently made a statement praising the prosecutors and saying, I don't take sides. Well, he's the Attorney General, and this is a federal prosecution. You don't take sides. So I'm very disappointed at what he's done. He needs to get some strength here. I mean, he needs to man up and do his job as Attorney General. But frankly, he's just rolling over because of his the criticism that he's a so-called racist, which he's not, and also the investigation which is ongoing by Robert Mueller into his connections, as alleged, with the Russians. And this is a dangerous situation when we have an Attorney General who has effectively neutered himself.